Hello everyone, my name is Paul Vu and welcome back to another tutorial. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to do the upside down spring. Now it's important you know how to do the spring, but if you don't, no worries, go ahead and check in the description box below. I've left a link to my tutorial on how to do the spring. And if you haven't already, definitely subscribe to my channel. I'll be releasing content like this every single week. Anyways, let's begin. Now, if you can do the spring, you can probably do the upside down spring with a few minor additions. Now, here's a brief overview. With the traditional spring, you spring the cards from hand to hand like this. And gravity is helping by carrying the cards down. Now, with the upside down spring, we are essentially reversing every single position. Now, the catching hand is on top, the springy hand is on bottom, and we're also assigning two different jobs to the hands. So the springy hand also has to throw the cards or swing them up to generate enough energy to propel the cards against gravity, and the catching hand has to guide the cards because it can't catch the cards traditionally in midair because the cards are going to fall. Therefore, it guides the cards up and clamps them down. So combine the moves together, it looks like this. And that's a brief overview. Let's get into the finer details of the upside down spring. Step 1, receiving position. Now, receiving position is pretty straightforward. With the traditional spring, we're springing the cards into the hand with the short edge facing the audience. Essentially, with this spring, the upside down spring, we are springing the cards with the long edge facing the audience. So we have to adjust our receiving hand accordingly. So from this position, we are just going to rotate our hands like this, so that the middle finger and ring finger are pointing directly to the audience. This gives us ample room to catch the cards with the long ways facing the audience. And that's receiving position. The second step is the spring. Now, I mentioned briefly we're going to be swinging the cards up, and we do that by using our arm, but more specifically our forearm, okay? Essentially, you don't want to use the whole arm. You want to lock that elbow in place and use just your forearm. This allows us to frame the spring and make it look better, because if you're springing the cards like this, it's not going to look as good as springing the cards from the forearm. So keep that in mind when you're about to toss the cards. Alright, we're at step 3, we're going to put it all together. Now, what you need to know is this. When you're springing the cards, essentially you are springing again with the long edge facing the audience. But also your thumb is going to aim towards the index finger and middle finger, as opposed to the ring finger and pinky with the traditional spring. And so again, here's how it goes. Essentially, you're going to rotate the receiving hand, lock the elbow in place, generate the energy, and spring the cards up into the hands. The cards are going to go in the hands, you're going to go up with the receiving hand, and then down and catch the cards with both hands. Here are some examples of the upside down spring. Like that, and one more time. Yeah. And that's the upside down spring. I'm going to do some slow-mo so you can kind of see how exactly I do it.
Now, there's one thing I forgot to mention, and you'll see it in the example, and that is you want to guide your springy hand with the cards. This will allow you to reach greater heights.
Congratulations, you've learned the spring. Now, you might have noticed I structured this video a little differently, and that's because there aren't too many technical parts to this move. If you know how to do the spring, you can do the upside down spring. Essentially, it's all about building confidence. Think back to when you first learned the spring and you had to build the confidence to go higher and higher. Essentially, it's that. You have to build the confidence to throw the cards in the air and catch them. It's gonna fall a lot, I guarantee you that. But after a while, you'll be able to do it to everyone and anyone. So again, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
Thank you so much for your support. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash the like button. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. Of course, if you haven't already, do subscribe to my channel. I'll be uploading every week. Also coming out this Sunday is the final tutorial on the spring series, and that is how to spring to the aces.